Coming up next, the guest list is brought to you by My Wedding Magazine, where the art of celebration is portrayed with the utmost beauty. Visit www.myweddingmag.co.nz or subscribe now in print or digitally so you don't miss a thing. The guest list is also supported by the Wedding Associates, hand-picked collection of the best venues and suppliers and hire plants. Whatever your purpose, hire plants have it covered.
Welcome to the guest list. On today's show, I have...
Today we're going to talk about something a bit different, than the normal reviews we do of hotels.
Rochelle Fleming, a wedding celebrant that can offer a lot more than just a wedding ceremony. Gayle from My Wedding Magazine will explain the differences between her magazine business and others. Joining me on the couch now is wedding travel specialist Anita Gatley. Anita, what are we talking about today?
Well, Nikki, today we're going to talk about something a bit different, than the normal reviews we do of hotels.
Right.
And this is a really important part of travel, and the company that I want to talk about is called Pacific Island Air.
Right.
So obviously air sounds like they're aeroplanes, they definitely are. They're a New Zealand based company called Garden City Helicopters, and they operate the Christchurch Air Ambulance. So they've been around a long time, well respected New Zealand company. And they bought Pacific Island Air and Seaplanes, but it all runs now under the same banner called Pacific Island Air.
Right.
And it's operated out of the airport in Nandi.
Fabulous.
Yeah, so they operate charter airplanes, seaplanes and helicopters. So what awesome way to get out and start your holiday than going straight from the airport, hopping on an aeroplane or a helicopter, and you're out right out to your resort. So it gives you the flexibility of getting out to any of the islands within a matter of minutes, any time of the day and night, which means that sometimes the flights don't connect with the transfers going on the charter transfers. They can actually operate a helicopter or a seaplane, and the seaplanes are amphibious, so it means they can land on this land or the water.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is awesome to see if you've ever been on an island and you see these flights coming in and they land on the water. It's a great spectacle.
I've never been in a seaplane. I so want to do that.
Yeah, be awesome. I was up in Fiji a few months ago, and my husband and I got the chance to do a helicopter little scenic flight, and we'd been out to the islands and we'd done the cruise around on the Cat, but it was a very different experience and just magical. So you get to see all the beautiful blue atolls and the different colours of the water, and it's just something different. And if you've never been in a helicopter before, that's an amazing experience.
It is. I think it's for most people, it's on their bucket list to
Absolutely.
go in a helicopter.
Absolutely. So it's a good way to get your transfer out to an island, but also, you know, obviously have a bit of sightseeing, flight seeing as well.
Fantastic.
And to get from Denarau out to the Mamanuca group, it's 10 minutes. So it's really quick. A little bit further out to the Yasawa Islands, so they fly out to the Mamanucas and the Yasawas quite a few times a day. They're either chartered or they're put on especially for the clients, and that's one thing that's really easy to organise. They also do scenic flights, private charters and adventure packages in association with different resorts. A lot of hen parties and stag do's are now starting to do that.
Nice.
So what a great way to take a few of your mates, and you can go out to different resorts that you possibly wouldn't get out to if you didn't have time to go. So if you've only got, you know, a short amount of time, hopping on a helicopter straight out there, enjoy your day, go snorkeling, fishing or whatever it is you want to do, and then you can be back. Brilliant. To enjoy the party with the rest of your friends. They've just also got a new facility that they do from the airport, and it's called the VIP facility, and it means that they actually pick you up. It costs about 100 Fiji dollars per person, but they pick you up from the airport. You're quickly, seamlessly gone through customs, and they whisk you out back to a helicopter, and then you're on your holiday. So really a really nice touch for something a bit different, and it's just something that Pacific Island Air have started operating, and they're getting lots and lots of groups that are doing it. They do group discounts if there's a large enough group, so that's the sort of thing that we can organise as well. One awesome thing that we saw when we were there is they have a couple of packages called Propose in Fiji on a Private Island. So you can, for around about $1,500 a couple, you can be picked up from either the airport or from a resort in Denarau, and you're taken out to, they've got a floating pontoon in Denarau at the marina there. They take you out on a little tender boat and they whisk you off, and when you're up in the air, they put in the sand, "Will you marry me?" And then obviously the bride just is amazed because she's not expecting that, she's just expecting to go for a little helicopter flight. They can land them at a resort, can have lunch there if that can all be arranged, or depending on if it's a picnic one or if it's a champagne one, it could be breakfast or it could be lunch. They'd organise food, wine, bottle of moe. They can have a bit of time to go snorkelling and swimming if they want, and then they'll take them back to Denarau that afternoon. So yeah, it's just a really unique product that's out there. Really reputable company. They do medevac, emergency evacuation, so you know that they're a good company that you'll be dealing with. Nikki, I think one thing to think too, or to remember, is that it's actually not that expensive. When you compare it to maybe going out to Waiheke, it's probably very comparable, and people might be actually surprised that the prices really aren't that expensive. So if people are interested, just let me know and we can definitely do a cost. One more thing to think about too is that most of the pilots are expat Kiwis, so it's quite nice to have a Kiwi to chat to on the way out. And they tell you where you're going, they give you a little commentary, they tell you exactly where you are in the air, and that's really nice when you have no idea. A really good company, Pacific Island Air, that I'd highly recommend.
Thank you, Anita.
No problem.
Remember, if you want to catch up with any of our past episodes, hop onto our website or our Facebook page. After the break, Rochelle Fleming, a wedding celebrant that can offer a lot more than just a wedding ceremony.
Something missing in your scape? Hire Plants specialise in plantscapes with purpose for a wide range of events, weddings, expos and film shoots. Our knowledge, experience and range make it easy to enhance your venue. Ivy balls and buxus, palms and natives, indoor and outdoor. Hire Plants offer easy access, delivery, installation and pickup. Whatever your purpose, Hire Plants have it covered.
The guest list is brought to you by My Wedding Magazine, where the art of celebration is portrayed with the utmost beauty. Visit www.myweddingmag.co.nz or subscribe now in print or digitally so you don't miss a thing. The guest list is also supported by the Wedding Associates, hand-picked collection of the best venues and suppliers, and hire plants. Whatever your purpose, hire plants have it covered.
Welcome to the guest list. I'm now joined by celebrant Rochelle Fleming. Welcome, Rochelle.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me. What are some of the key things that you believe that you bring to a ceremony that makes it a little bit unique?
I think with my approach to ceremonies, with quite a sort of personable, relaxed and friendly style, I would collaborate with the couple to ensure that the ceremony matched what they were looking for in their day. And I think I bring that warmth and enthusiasm and often a bit of humour as well to the ceremony.
What about other types of ceremonies within the ceremony, with things like candles and sand and all those sorts of things?
Well, I've had lots of couples that have perhaps had family beaches that they've grown up at and gone to the beach during summertime, and so they've decided to incorporate a sand ceremony. So they've blended sand from their family's beaches at the beach. I've had a lot of couples that have decided to do wine ceremonies recently. They may have had met for the first time or been on their first date at a winery, or they may have chosen a really nice wine to celebrate their engagement that they decide to incorporate in the ceremony. And the way that they would do that is the wine would be placed in a wine box, and they would include letters that they'd written to each other on the morning of the ceremony, and that's a nice keepsake that they can obviously seal the box and open it up for their first or fifth wedding anniversary. So that's a nice tradition. And just sort of a further take on that, I guess, is family traditions. There's a lot of couples out there who have been in a relationship for a long period of time, have had their families, and they want to include them within the ceremony. So they might decide to put a family treasure box together where they incorporate lots of treasures that the family decide to put in there, and that they'll open up again to celebrate the first wedding anniversary.
Are you able to recommend how people can actually incorporate family members?
A few ways that people are doing that these days is creating a bit of a parent promise or a family promise, and where all the family join hands together and they share a family promise together, or the parents impart their hopes and wishes for the children, or there's a particular parent vow that's imparted to the children during the ceremony. Another way is to even get handprints cut out of all the children and layer them on top of each other during the ceremony to sort of represent the family sort of coming together, and that's framed for everyone to see in the family home.
That's lovely.
So,
what a gorgeous idea.
Yeah, so that's another way of doing that.
Let's talk about a rehearsal, because I believe a rehearsal is very important to have prior to the ceremony. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's crucial, and I think touch points with couples and communication is extremely important. In my offering to couples, I actually have 4 face-to-face touch points. So we have 2 meetings, the rehearsal and the ceremony.
So Rochelle, I imagine each ceremony is unique and different?
Definitely. The people that are close to them, they'd like to sort of bring them in and make them feel involved. I guess with my experience over the last 8 years as a wedding celebrant, with capturing about 400 weddings,
that's a lot of weddings.
Clients, and what I think stands out most to me is people really want to add that fun and enthusiasm into their ceremonies, and there might be a bit of crowd involvement with the crowd offering their support of their marriage, or it might be the inclusion of a family member coming up and actually imparting their words of advice from their last 25 years of marriage. Or it might be a friend that's written a personalised poem they want to gift to the couple and impart to them on the day. And there's just lots of nice little touches like that that can really make it unique and memorable and stand out in people's memories.
And give them a really warm feeling to the whole ceremony.
Yeah, a real warm feeling and fun feeling. Yeah,
lovely.
Yeah. And often at the end of the ceremony we do things like include a toast where the couple toast each other for the first time as husband and wife, and then incorporate the guests in the toast, and they offer a loud sort of cheer at the end of the ceremony, and just to remember that it's a day of celebration, and that's the real sense or feeling that couples often want to have with their guests, is just really to celebrate their time together with their loved ones. So that warmth and enthusiasm is a really important part, I think.
Rochelle, I believe that you have another little business alongside your celebrant business.
I also have a business called Something Borrowed Boutique Hire, which is hire props and centerpieces for people's wedding days. And this is another sort of added service that I can offer to brides if there are one-off items that they require, or if they want to style their centerpieces and do it themselves, the DIY bride, then I can offer some hire props for them.
They must come in really, really handy, especially for people overseas. Almost like a bit of a one-stop shop.
Yeah, people planning from afar, it just gives them a little bit more of peace of mind that they don't have to go to multiple vendors. They can come to me, and I can assist with a couple of things for them anyway, with their ceremony and their centerpieces and hire props.
Are you based solely here in Auckland, or do you spread your net a little bit wider?
Based in Auckland, but happy to travel. I have done a lot of weddings over on Waiheke, up at Matakana, and further south at Castaways in Waiuku, and even as far as Hamilton.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Rochelle, how can somebody find you?
Well, I am a member of the Wedding Associates, and so they can go on to online to the website for the Wedding Associates. And with the Wedding Associates card, which I recommend everyone to purchase, I think it's $49, and they get access to a lot of discounts with some very recognised suppliers in the wedding industry. And I offer quite a discounted offer for their ceremonies on there.
Rochelle, thank you so much for coming in and chatting to me. It's been lovely talking to you.
Thank you.
Talking to celebrant Rochelle Fleming. Remember, if you want to catch up with any of our past episodes, hop onto our website or our Facebook page. After the break, Gayle from My Wedding Magazine will explain the differences between her magazine business and others.
Something missing in your scape? Hire Plants specialise in plantscapes with purpose for a wide range of events, weddings, expos and film shoots. Our knowledge, experience and range make it easy to enhance your venue. Ivy balls and buxus, palms and natives, indoor and outdoor. Hire Plants offer easy access, delivery, installation and pickup. Whatever your purpose, Hire Plants have it covered.
The guest list is brought to you by My Wedding Magazine, where the art of celebration is portrayed with the utmost beauty. Visit www.myweddingmag.co.nz or subscribe now in print or digitally so you don't miss a thing. The guest list is also supported by the Wedding Associates, hand-picked collection of the best venues and suppliers, and hire plants. Whatever your purpose, hire plants have it covered.
Welcome to the guest list. I am now joined by Gayle, editor of My Wedding Magazine. Welcome, Gayle.
Thank you, Nikki. Nice to be here.
Well, it's lovely to have you here. And now this is something a little bit different because we've never had a wedding magazine on the show before.
We like setting trends.
Yes. And it is a beautiful, beautiful magazine because it's a little bit different to some of the other wedding magazines that are out there.
It's very different. It's kind of, we set out to be different. We didn't want to copy the mould of the standard wedding magazine format. We thought they were rather cluttered and unpretty. And a bride is going through one of the most tactile and experimental periods of her life. Mm-hmm. She wants beautiful things, and we decided to showcase that.
It's very much sort of like almost like a coffee table style book magazine.
It is. We specifically took off brides from the front cover, kept the covers very neutral. Mm. We find that they stay on coffee tables long after the wedding day, because after all, the wedding industry is an event industry.
Yes.
So people, we find that we're educating them into using the event industry for hubby's birthday parties, for the kids' birthday cakes, for corporate events that they may be working on in their business lives. And we find that because of the cover being non-obtrusive, the grooms are reading it. And they don't feel too girly with a bride on the front cover sort of thing. They can actually sit and read it quite comfortably.
I also love the idea that you are not alienating specific areas of the market, that you do cover same-sex weddings.
Oh yes, very definitely. It's actually quite a big part of what we do. And we find that the gay and lesbian market are very into beautiful things. They're very specific in what they want from a wedding, and the feedback we're getting from that market is incredible.
How long has the magazine been in existence?
We launched it 6 years ago nearly. It's just bordering on our 6th birthday, so we're very excited. It's gone through a few metamorphoses in that period, but we think we're on the right track at the moment, and looking forward to lots of exciting new things coming up.
Great. Now, what are the sorts of things that readers can expect from the magazine?
Every single issue is cram-packed, 150 odd pages worth of beautiful, beautiful things. The layout is clean, uncluttered. Every issue will feature everything from hair and makeup to the gowns and shoes, to real wedding stories, to destinations and venues both within New Zealand and offshore, because we look at a lot of destination weddings these days. We cover the honeymoon side of it. There's cuisine pages on food and drink, and not just for your wedding but for your romantic dinners for two at home. Lots of little different things, and I think one of the most important differences between us and other magazines is that we haven't relied on journalists to put our columns together. These are not paid writers. These are industry professionals who we've brought on board. They know their stuff, that this is what they do every single day, and they are using their knowledge to educate our readers into producing better weddings and better events.
That's a great point of difference.
It's a huge point of difference. Yeah, it's not just some journalist who's researched it on Google and put a column together.
Now, apart from the printed and digital versions, where can the readers actually get a copy?
Right, well, it's surprisingly they won't find it in the supermarket, and they won't find it at Paper Plus or Whitcoulls. What we've done is decided that a magazine is not good sitting on a shelf for months and months waiting for someone to read it. Mm-hmm. We have partnered with a lot of the wedding industry up and down the country. So if a bride is going into a show in one of the regions around the country, she's more than likely going to get one in a goodie bag if she's one of the first through the door. She may win a subscription through one of those shows. We also do partner with a lot of the wedding industry professionals who will put a free copy, the bride's first complimentary copy, into an information pack that they get. So for instance, if they're going to a wedding photographer, they may get an info pack to walk away with. My Wedding Magazine will be in that. If they go to a venue, chances are they're going to get a copy of that. And we find that because they've had a good look through it as a free $20 magazine that they're getting for nothing, love the magazine so much that we pick them up as either digital or print subscribers after that, because it's only $45 a year delivered to your door 4 times a year.
That's very good. So you're a quarterly magazine?
Yes, we come out quarterly, and we don't tend to follow seasons. So if a bride is planning a spring wedding but she's looking at magazines in October, don't panic about it. You know, every single issue is filled with things that you can translate to any season. Yes, in winter we do focus on snowy weddings, but it's not a big focus. We will still feature spring flowers and we will still feature spring hairdos, because brides are planning weddings at all times of the year and also thinking about destination weddings where the weather might be totally different.
What is the best way for clients to get hold of it?
Well, we have an 0800 number, so that's 0800 214 879. Or just head to our website. Everything is up on the website. It's www.myweddingmag.co.nz. So another way that we find brides are actually quite interested in reading the magazine is digitally these days, obviously with iPads and smartphones. So we are probably one of the few magazines that has just about every platform covered, from iTunes Store, which covers your Apple product, to Android. If you're on a cruise liner in the middle of the Atlantic, you can probably read it on Press Reader. If UK and US brides are picking up through Barnes & Noble's Nook system, we have everything covered. And again, if they just head to our website, there's a subscribe page there where they can see all the platforms available.
That is fantastic.
And it's much cheaper than print because we don't have to ship it offshore.
Brilliant.
We also have a hugely interactive Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram. You'll find us on Pinterest.
Fantastic. Thank you, Gayle.
You're welcome.
I have been talking to Gayle, editor of My Wedding Magazine. I'm Nikki Lewis. Thank you for joining me here on the guest list. Don't forget, if you've missed any of our past episodes, you can visit our website or our Facebook page and catch up. And I will see you next time.
The guest list studio set is supplied by Hire Plants.
The guest list is brought to you by My Wedding Magazine, where the art of celebration is portrayed with the utmost beauty. Visit www.myweddingmag.co.nz or subscribe now in print or digitally so you don't miss a thing. The guest list is also supported by the Wedding Associates, hand-picked collection of the best venues and suppliers, and Hire Plants. Whatever your purpose, Hire Plants have it covered.